How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully everyone is having a lovely day. So the Cincinnati Reds today will exit the trade deadline making little to no moves. They traded for a minor leaguer. Besides that, no major league moves. In a trade deadline that a lot of people thought the Reds need to go after some pitching, specifically a starting pitcher. They had some prospects across the board. Obviously, every one of these players cannot play on this team. They have a loaded infield already on talent. They got more in the system. People said, hey, let's trade some of these guys away and let's get some starting pitching. Unfortunately, that did not happen for the Reds today. And albeit it didn't happen, it's not the end of the world, I don't think. For a couple reasons. First of all, we have to remember the Reds were looking for a pitcher in return that was going to give them some long-term value. They weren't looking to rent. They wanted a guy that'd be under team control for a couple years, and that was completely understandable. You're not in a win now and a win now only position for the Reds. You're looking at the future and saying, hey, we got a young core. We got 4 to 5 years with this young core locked down in arbitration. You got to try to build for the future. As hard as it is when you're winning right now and fighting in first place in a division. So in that case, the Reds say, okay, we're not going to overpay. We're not going to oversell the system for one player. We feel like maybe we can get team control for a year or two. And they weren't going to, just reach for a guy like a short-term deal as well. They wanted to, again, just a rental. So it's very possible the guy just didn't come across the table where they didn't get the offer they wanted, or the team wouldn't take the offers they was throwing out there. The Reds were very adamant in making it known they was thinking about it. Nothing happened. You look at this starting rotation, though, and you say, hey, You got a reason to be worried right now. You do. You got a reason to be optimistic, though, too. Andrew Abbott, call it is what it is, man. The guy has really been putting up a Cy Young caliber set. Now, it's been short, but he's been putting up Cy Young numbers. Graham Ashcraft started the season well, fell to pieces, and now the last 6 starts has seemed to figure it out once again. 6 straight starts, allowing 2 or fewer runs. That's 2 guys right there. You look at Ben Lively, he's got his ERA back below 4. Not too shabby, doing all right. And you say, that's 3. Okay. Now you bring back Lodolo and Green. They have spots in this lineup. So you're saying Lodolo, Green, Abbott, Ashcraft. You need number 5 in the order guy. Now, if you're looking at that rotation, you say, okay, we're looking, essentially what we're looking for. Now, that's guaranteed, banking on these guys coming back and healthy. I know that's the difficult thing here. You want these guys to come back and healthy. But you don't want to overstaff a team. You don't want to overpay for a pitcher and say, okay, or overpay for 2 starting pitchers and say, okay, these guys are back, but we ain't got room for all these guys. All of a sudden, you find yourself kind of in that Wade Miley pickle. If you remember a few years back, the Reds paid Wade Miley that money, and then they didn't have a spot for him on the rotation. Eventually, he found one. But you got to be very careful of that if you're the Reds. You got to be very mindful of that if you're Reds and say, okay, really? They are in a really good position. Essentially, what they're looking for is a number 5 in a rotation man if the rest of these guys pan out, and you have to have faith in the guys that you have. And for that situation, you don't want to overpay. I think you consider, again, holes happen, cracks happen, guys leave. You got to remember, as much as the Reds didn't spend the farm on anybody this season, that doesn't mean they can't in the offseason. That doesn't mean they can't next season. I can tell you one thing, though. You trade Marte right now for a rental. You can't trade him for one next season. Maybe next season a better deal comes across. You got to be patient sometimes. And I think, the Reds staying put here wasn't too big of a deal. You look at the bullpen. You had, again, 4 guys in that bullpen with a sub 3.5 ERA. You had 3.61. But, Diaz, Lucas Sims. The guys have been solid. Now, I know, Buck Farmer, throw mine there. Now, there's been some ups and downs, obviously. And I know I've seen some comments like, oh, the Reds need to get a reliever because once you get past X, and X, it's ugly. Welcome to bullpen, because that's just going to be it. And it's very rare that you see, 7 guys in a bullpen that are all studs. You're going to have, and that's why you have your setup man, you have your 7th inning man, you have your closer. If you can have 3 really good guys in a bullpen, that's what you ask for. I think the Reds look like they say, hey, we got 4 to 5 solid guys. We're not going to call them elite, but we got 4 to 5 solid guys. Edwin Diaz is in that category of elite, but you got that slim little closer, and we feel confident our guys that can get us through the 7th and the 8th. You're all right. And as we know, the bats are more than all right. They got more than enough over there. They ain't looking to trade or pick any of those up. So as a whole, you're a game and a half lead in first place in the division entering the trade deadline. You feel like you can replenish when you get guys like, not to mention you look at that bullpen, guys like TJ Antone Gutierrez come back. Antone, when he's healthy, has been really good. Man, Antone's out there set up closer role if you could stay healthy. So you bring a guy like him back healthy, he's an addition to the bullpen, a big addition. You just talked about the starters, and I think that's the way the Reds look right now and say, hey, we're not in this situation where we have everybody healthy And this is what it is. If that was the case, yeah, you better chase down another starter. But you feel like, hey, we can just stay in things mid-August into September. We bring back what was supposed to be our number 1 and number 2 punches. And you add that to a rotation that's been coming together lately. And you feel like you're in a good spot. So overall, sure, you'd love to see the Reds make a trade, but I love where this team's at right now. I have a lot of faith in this team going forward. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.